Hi, this is Sammie Smiles, and I'm your host, Sammie Vance. This podcast is sure to leave you inspired and with a smile. Now let's get right into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 6th episode of Sammie Smiles. I'm your host, Sammie Vance, and today I'm really happy to welcome Stacy Bauer as my guest today. Stacy is a mom, a teacher, and author of many books, and the founder of her own publishing company, Hop Off the Press. So we'll talk about that in just a bit, but first of all, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be on your program.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to have you. So you have written quite a few books, and one of your biggest series is Cammie Kangaroo and Wyatt too. They have really cute pictures. They have really cute pictures, and I love how they just entertain everyone and have great lessons. So can you tell the listeners a little bit about that series and why you decided to write it?
Sure. So, as you mentioned earlier, I'm a teacher and a mom. And so I have read lots of kids' books over the years. And one of the book series that I've always loved is Berenstain Bears. So when I was growing up, I read them. I read them to my own kids, read them to my kids at school. And I've been writing since I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And I've always had a dream of being a published author. And so a few years ago, I decided to follow my dream and try to make that happen. And so I decided that I was going to write about my kids, Cammie and Wyatt, because I had been sharing funny things that they did on like Facebook for family and friends. And people would always tell me, your kids do such funny things. You should really write a book about that. And I was just like, yeah, haha, okay, whatever. Well, then when I decided to write a book, I thought maybe I should just use my kids as inspiration. And it can be kind of be like the Berenstain Bears, where because as a teacher and a mom, I wanted to teach a lesson, but not in a preachy, like boring grown up way, but more like a fun, like, haha, that's funny, kid kind of way. So that's where the original idea came from.
I love that. I love how it's like inspired by your kids. That's really
Mm-hmm.
cute. I love that. I have that's kind of like, so with my book, we went the traditional publishing route, but I'm also trying to write a few more books, and I feel like I'm having them inspired by other people. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I think that's a good way to write them. So yeah, more about the traditionally published route. That's how I published my book, Inspire the World, A Kid's Journey to Making a Difference. And the whole process just took a really long time, which I wasn't really expecting. And I know that you've gone the self-publishing route and even now have your own publishing company. You are really helpful in telling other people about the best way to get everything to work. And I think that's really awesome. So what is the best piece of advice that you have for other people who are trying to write a book and trying to publish them in a timely manner?
Oh gosh. Um, well, timely, yeah. So I had to learn a few things the hard way, which maybe you did too, but I'm not a very patient person. And so, and I like to control things and have them done my way. And so I really had to learn that even with self-publishing, where I do have a lot of control over things, like I looked for my own illustrator, I pay what I want to pay and whatever, but I can't control everything. I can't control when the printing is going to be done. I can't control if my books are stuck on a container ship in the ocean for 4 months, which happened recently. I can't control, the cost of certain things, and also it is just going to take a while. Things take longer than you want them to, and you can't control how fast people work, or if people get sick, or if people quit, or if people have a family thing come up, or if you get sick or whatever. So I guess my advice is just to be flexible and realize that, yeah, there are some things you can control and there's some things you can't, and I am still learning that. But yeah, just try to, if you know, when you want to, if you want to publish a book, yeah, think about, like you said, do I want to try the traditional route? Do I want to go self-publishing? And then once you decide which route you want to try, then just kind of start meeting people, join the author groups, try to meet other authors, research the two different routes to figure out your next steps, but just realize that it is going to take longer than you want it to, and just try to be flexible.
I love that. Thank you for the advice. And I hope that everyone takes that advice. I love that. Just be patient, because you never really know what's going to happen.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I entered the publishing industry with like really no clue. And
same.
yeah, so it's a neat, but for me, like personally, it was a long process. But
Yeah. It definitely is long. It does get faster the more you do it, because you know what you're doing more and everything. But it's still, let's see, I published the second book in the Young Changemakers series, which was my 10th book that I published. And it took like 4 months for me to get the books because of the supply issues right now. I can't control that. And so even me, who's published 10 books and knows that I can't control that, it was still very frustrating, because you have people waiting and they want the books, and I wanted the books. And so it's hard, but yeah, definitely there's a lot to learn in the publishing industry.
Yeah, indeed. So you and me have been connected through my mom for a little over a year now, I think. And you contacted my mom about wanting to include me in a book series about kids doing amazing things. It's called Young Changemakers book series. You have released the first 3 books, and each book includes 12 amazing change makers. And this week you are starting and doing a Kickstarter for book 4 and 5. And I'm really excited and honored to be in book 4 alongside of many other kids doing great things. So thank you so much for including me in it. Yeah. So when did you start wanting to do this? Or when did you have the idea to start this book series, and has it turned out how you imagined it so far?
So a year ago, so last winter of, I guess it would be 2021. It was like January of 2021. And I remember I had just published my Christmas book in Cammie and Wyatt. And I was like, okay, I've published like, 8 books in that series. That series is going pretty well, but I wanted to do something a little different. And there's just a lot. There was a lot, and there still is a lot of things going on in the world that, can be negative things that can, bring people down and make the future look kind of bleak. And so I thought, how can I use my author voice to really spread some hope and inspiration and positivity into the world? And I started thinking, okay, what could I do? What could I do? What else could I write about besides my own kids? And I thought, okay, I've read a lot of nonfiction kids books as a teacher and a mom, and I have a lot of nonfiction kids books that are about, adults that have done things to make a difference. And I have a lot of books about like famous people who have made a difference. But I didn't recall reading really that many books about kids. Just your ordinary, everyday, like run of the mill, kid who is doing just a thing, like even a small thing or a big thing, doesn't matter what it is, but something that's changing their community in some way. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to see if I can somehow find kids, and maybe I'll write a book about them. Like I'll feature, a few kids in a book or whatever. So that was my plan. I was just going to write a book. So for me, for it turning out the way I thought, no, it's even better than I thought it was going to be. But I was just going to write a book about a few kids, or even one kid or whatever. And so I made this graphic that I was looking for super kids who are, doing something to inspire change or to change things. And I put it on my my website, my Facebook page, out to my email subscribers, out to my Instagram followers. And the response was insane. Like I started getting, people were sending me people that they knew, like, oh, look at my neighbor's kid has these lemonade stands and they donate all the money for this cause. And but they, not only that, but people were like sending me these news articles, like little articles about this kid or that kid, and little written up stories. And then I went on Instagram and I found, you and a bunch of other kids I looked up certain hashtags on Instagram and things like that. And pretty soon I had like almost 100 kids. And I was like, okay. So apparently it's going to be a series. I guess I could have done all the kids in one book, but I just was like, I was picturing a book for like second through fifth grade, second through sixth grade, somewhere in there. And so I didn't want to make it too overwhelmingly thick. So I figured, okay, if I do 12 kids per book, then it could be 40 pages and it wouldn't be too long. And then I could just do multiple books. And I ended up with 7 books, and I'm still getting kids' names sent to me. So people are like, you're not going to be done after 7, are you? Because, this kid's doing that and this and that. And I'm like, okay. So for right now, I'm at 7, and then we'll see how it goes. So yeah, it's been incredible. It's been amazing. It's been incredible.
I love that. I think that's amazing. And I love how some people I know who are in it, such as like Ryan Hickman and Addie, Guerrilla Heroes. And I think it's really cool. And then there's also people that I'm learning about and I'm really excited to learn about. And it's just like really cool. So yeah.
It is really neat. It's really neat that a lot of you guys know each other. And I didn't realize that when I started. But there's like this little world of like young change makers where you guys are all kind of
circle of connection. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's really cool. And you guys all support each other and you're all so encouraging toward each other. And that's really neat to see that.
Yeah, I love it. And I love being a part of that circle, that chain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sometimes I have a hard time like with my balancing on my schoolwork with rehearsals for like play practice, buddy bench work, and just relaxing. And I know that you're a busy mom, you're a writer, and you are publishing books. So how do you balance that with everything?
Ew. So it helps that both of my kids are in school and I'm on a leave from teaching right now. So I'm able to focus on being an author as my number one job. Because when I first became a published author, I was teaching full time. That was really hard. My kids were like 7 and 4. I was teaching full time and I was trying to publish my first kids book. And so I would work at school until 4, pick up my kids from daycare, take care of them, put them to bed at like 8 o'clock. And then I would work from like 8 until 11 on my author stuff, go to bed, get up the next day and do it again. Now teaching and the author stuff, I love both of those things and I love being a mom. So to me, none of it's stuff that I don't want to do. Like I want to do it. So to me, it's fun. So right now, how I'm doing it is that when my kids are in school, that's when I do like my author visits, my marketing stuff, writing the books, whatever, anything I have to do for my author stuff, I try to do during the day when they're at school. So they leave at 7 and they get home at 3. And then after they go to bed at night, if there's anything else I have to catch up on, I will, but I try hard to spend time with my husband at that point too, and then get some sleep. So anyway, that's how I'm doing it now. In the summer, it's more difficult, but my kids are 12 and 9 now, so they're older and they're pretty independent. They don't need me every second of the day, so they'll go play. And then if I have to get some work done, they understand that too. So
I love that. Day in the life of Stacy Bauer.
uh,
Yeah, it's really cool. And I love seeing how other people like balance everything that they're doing. And with you, it must be sometimes difficult, but I like to see that you're getting it done.
I am. And some days I just can't do it. Like if I'm sick or whatever, out of town or doing family stuff, I don't answer all the emails, or
That's okay.
I cancel meetings if I have to, or whatever. And people are very understanding and flexible for the most part. And I have a very supportive husband. Like he helps package up books and helps pick up books from the printer. And so my family helps a lot. And they're very supportive of my dream that I'm doing here, and very encouraging. So that certainly helps the situation.
I love that. That's amazing. And I know that sometimes you do school visits and you just do so much, and it's amazing what you do. And I'm really grateful that you're on this podcast. But before we get on to the rapid fire round, is there anything else you want to tell the viewers?
No, I don't think so. I can't think of anything else. We talked about yeah, both series and teaching and mom and the new series. And yes, no, I think yeah, it's good, except I don't know what the rapid fire round is. So you heard this. Is this something I need to be worried about?
No, not necessarily. I'll just ask you a few things and you can answer with the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay, sounds
All right.
good. No pressure, Stacy.
No
Okay.
pressure. So if you're ready, then I'm ready.
Sure, sounds good.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Hot or
As
cold?
the dog's pawing at the door. What's
Love that. Hot or cold?
Hot.
Swimming or skiing?
Ooh, swimming.
Favorite food?
Strawberries.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite animal?
Wolf.
Nice. Best vacation spot?
Ooh. If I'm going somewhere close to home, it's the cabin in Wisconsin. But the best place I've been to is Greece.
Ooh, fun. Favorite superpower?
Oh gosh. I would have to say invisibility.
I like that, yeah. Best random act of kindness?
Smile.
I love that. I love that answer. Yes.
It's so simple and it's so easy, but it has the power to change everything, right?
Yeah. Would you rather be able to speak all languages or be able to speak to animals?
Oh, all languages.
I'd agree with that. If you could have lunch with anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
Jesus.
Yeah. Awesome. Where can everyone find you on social media?
I am on Instagram as Stacy C. Bauer, and Facebook, Young Changemakers books, and Stacy C. Bauer author. And then my website is Stacy C. Bauer. So if you just look up Stacy C. Bauer, you should find me pretty much everywhere.
So make sure to follow Stacy and her amazing journey. And for the last question to ask all my guests, what is something that makes you smile?
Oh gosh, lots of things make me smile. Talking to you makes me smile. I love kids. Kids make me smile. Spending time with them, they make me laugh, and they just give me a positive energy. So it's the best.
Yeah, I love that. Same here. I love little kids.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being on my podcast. This was really amazing, and I'm so happy to know you. And you've definitely made me smile. So thank you for that. And to everyone listening, just remember that you don't just have to be an adult to make a difference. You could be a kid too. Make sure to follow Stacy and her amazing journey. And have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.